Alrighty now. Today is the moment of truth. We're going to be using some fair skin, and we will see just how well we did the eyes. Hopefully, by painting the face and the rest of the skin parts, which, I don't think she's got anything other than her face. So, okay, we'll just do her face then. Because I think these are pants. I could make them skin, but I think they work as pants better. And my hope is that when I paint everything here that looks like face, that eye will be smaller. I think this side is fine, but this side, And I might be able to put a little tiny white dot in there to fix that eye, make it smaller. I'll probably have to do a couple coats just to get the raccoon look gone from her face. My paint seems to be a little watery, but we'll go with that. It just means more layers, because see, it's pooling up right there. I don't think that's a good thing. And I'm being really quiet, just because I'm concentrating. It should get her ear too. Guess I could get the back of her ear while we're waiting for her face to dry. Try to get in for her neck. Yeah, I think she's going to need a bit more white, and if I could just dab it right there. I don't know. Let me see here. Because it looks like there's a lot of blue just right there. Maybe that's not so bad. Make sure everything's visible still. Actually, what it probably needs, at least it looks like to me, I was going to say a little bit more muddy brown, because this bottom lid isn't shaded very much. Yeah, see, it still looks a little derpy. What to do, what to do. Because I like that eye. This eye just doesn't have enough. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another drop of muddy brown. Probably all out of focus. Little touch of muddy brown there. And I'm going to go back in and do a little bit of white and see if that fixes that. But we'll keep doing the face just a little bit just because I got the paint on the palette. This is just a straight color, so it's easy to go back over with if I mark it all up. Oh, she's got earrings. I have to add those in. So yeah, I'm going to let this dry. Well, I might get the neck here. Just get that where it's good enough. Still think it's a little too dark just right there, but I don't want to get too close into it. I think I derped it up. So we'll call it good there, and I'm going to come back and we'll try to fix that eye. Okay, so I'm going to work with just the muddy brown right now to try to fix that eye. Just to show you, I'm switching to a much smaller brush, hoping I have a little bit more control over it. Normally I wouldn't use this one. And of course I recognize it's got this little hook on the end of it. And that was one of my favorite brushes for a long time. And so all I did was I dipped my brush in the water and then paint straight out of the pot. And one of the problems with a smaller brush is that it won't hold nearly as much paint. And apparently it held enough just right there. Did not intend to give her a wash, but I guess she's getting one. Okay, rinse that off. Rinse the other brush off. Get the heater going, so I'm just going to dip it in into the hot air. Okay. Again, I'm just getting a little bit of the muddy brown, and that's way too wet. I'm trying to use the water that's in the brush to thin the paint. A little bit more paint. She's going to be a little cross-eyed, but it's okay. That'll be part of her character. Let that dry a little bit. And not that one. Next color we're going to use is the yellow bone. And I'm just going to try to give one little dot on the side of her face, the side of the eye. And the little tutorial I saw on this was, you try to make it a triangle, so make sure it's visible. Okay. Yeah, it was way too wet. You know what? I think I'm just going to have to redo the entire eye. So let's stop screwing around with it. And let's just do it right. Don't flick it around, Darren. Well, I gotta redo all that anyway. So let me just dab up a little bit of that paint. Oh yeah, now she looks really pretty. I'm just trying to cover up that blue now. Okay, and I'm gonna go back and paint the face, because kind of using the side of the brush just to see where the eye socket is. You know, that may have been part of my problems. I just didn't know where to paint. Of course, that nose right there seems to not define the eye socket very well. So that's good for that. Because I painted the outside, not the inside, I'm going to go straight into the yellow bone. But I may use the small brush this time, see if that helps me at all. Move it down just a little bit. There we go. And I think that's kind of good. And go ahead. Redo the paint on that. Did I mess that up already? I think I did. Now I got the paint here anyway. Again, I'm going to use my small brush for this. Just to try to give some definition back to that socket. Did I get any paint on there? Apparently not. Yeah, I'll just start over. God, that is an awful, awful mess. That's not too terrible. But I'm going to futz with it just a little bit more. which will probably mess it all up once again. But we like painting, yes? What I want to do is just give it a little bit more white. And I think that hair, that little curl out there is just not going to work. Let me pick a different brush. We're going to go with this one. This is, I don't even remember what this is. Oh, it's a Winsor & Newton. But it's a synthetic sable mix. And it's tiny. So, problem with tiny ones is you have to work fast because you're not going to have paint on it for very long. Or it's going to dry out, especially here. It's not sure what the humidity is today. 6? We got snow on the ground, but that didn't mean a whole lot. Okay. And okay, paint's already dry. You know, for the longest time, I avoided the small brushes because, you know, I'd read that, oh, if you use a bigger brush, it'll work better. Kind of saying nuts to that right now. Because this is getting in right where I want it to be. And doing right exactly what I want it to do. So that's a little bit, well, okay, that's a lot big from what I wanted, but we're going to get it, stop right there, let it dry good, and then we'll try to dot the pupil. Alright, that's not muddy brown. Going back into the Sapphire Blue, and I'm going to use the Mini. And we're going to try to give her a decent eye. Hey. You know what? He's good. So that part is done. Just remix my fair skin up just a little bit. Because I am happy. I didn't have to wipe. I wiped my toothpick that I'm mixing the paint up with. That was called habit. Okay. So I switched back to the big brush if you couldn't tell. So I want to have lots of paint. And finish up what this episode was really supposed to be, which is just the skin. And it turned into so much more. Aren't we happy? We're all happy. We're all happy here. See, now the left eye looks a whole lot better than that right eye. Yeah, that helped. That helped a lot, so I am not going to get anywhere near nor touch the eyes anymore. We're done. The hardest part of the mini for me. Stop. Don't touch it anymore. I realized one thing as I was painting this. I have to give her eyebrows. Or did I say that already? Oh, and you know what I want to do? I want to put a little bit of yellow bone right there. And I said I wasn't going to touch the eye, didn't I? Guess what I'm going to do. I'm going to touch the eye. Yeah. So if we touch that part, let's touch the pupil at least once. I can already predict what's going to happen. I'm going to mess up this other eye. No, no. Do think I need to go in to just down below here again. Yeah. Yeah. We got this. That's a pretty eye. Bit of a derpy eye. But Po Buddy's nerfed, right? So, I'm going to call this good. I'm going to call her skin base done. And this episode ran really long, so I'm going to not do any of the shadows or highlights on this. I'll skip it for the next video. Thank you for watching. You liked it? There's a like button. Thanks for watching.